Hi guys, welcome back again to another section of Uncle Sam online tutorial. In today's class, we're going to be discussing factorization of algebraic expression. But before we continue, I already did an introductory video on algebra. And if you'd like to watch it, please click the link on the right side of your screen. Now let's get started. Before we can start discussing about factorization of algebraic expressions, we need to first understand what a factor is. So the word factor. A factor in mathematics is more like a number or a term that can divide through another term without leaving any word remainder. For instance, if you have 10 as a number, I want to find the factors of 10. In other words, we want to find the set of numbers or terms that can divide through 10 without leaving a remainder. They are as follows: 1, 2, 5, and 10. Now, this set of numbers can divide through 10 without leaving any remainder. So, but 10 is just a number. We are discussing algebraic expression, meaning that it's not just a number, it's a combination of numbers and letters. So let's take an instance. 6x is an algebraic expression. We want to find the factors of 6x. What are the factors of 6x? 6x, we have the number 6 and we have the word x. They are both joined together. So I want to find the factors. And first of all, find the factors of 6. What are the factors of 6? 1, 2, 3, 6. These are the factors of 6. Next, I'm going to replicate these factors, these numerical factors, with respect to the word, the variable here. This is what I mean. So in place of 1, I'm going to add x. Why? Because x can still divide 6x without leaving any remainder. So in place of just 2, I'll write 2x. Why? Because 2x can still divide 6x without leaving what? Any remainder. Then in terms of what? 3, I'll write what? 3x. And in terms of 6, I'll write what? 6x. So this is the set of the complete factors of 6x. Now, what did you notice here? You notice that, first of all, it is separated into what? Numbers. Then what? The algebraic terms joined together. So these are the complete factors of 6x. Now, when you now go to factorizing algebraic expression, factorizing simply means you are putting something inside a bracket. You're finding what is common between two or more expressions, and what? Arranging them in such a way that they are put inside the bracket while what is common to them is placed outside the bracket. So let's take one example. An example we're going to take is what? 2x minus 3xy. Let us factorize this expression. So in factorizing this expression, we want to find what is common. So we'll take this route that I use here. First, let's find the factors of each term. So 2x, what are the factors of 2x? The factors of 2x include 1, 2, because 1 and 2 are factors of 2, right? Then the next thing is to replicate this 1 and 2 with respect to what? The variable here. So I'm going to have, in place of 1, I'm going to have x, and in place of 2, I'm going to have what? 2x. So these are the complete set of factors for 2x. Then go for what? 3xy. For 3xy, what are the factors? First, I have to find the factors of 3, which is 1 and 3. Now, you see that we are having two variables here, x and y. So what I'm going to do is, first, I'm going to replicate these numbers with respect to the first variable, which is x. So I'm going to have x, and I'm going to have what? 3x. Then I'll do the same thing, replicate these numerical values here with respect to the variable here, y. So I'm going to have y, which is what? Replacing y here, 1 here. Then I'm going to have what? 3y, replacing what? 3 here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is a combination of the two variables. So I'm going to have, in terms of 1 here, I'm going to have xy as a single unit. Then I'm going to have what? 3xy. This is the complete set of what? For this part, this is the complete set of what? Factors for what? 3xy. Now, after we've done this, now we'll go into finding what? The common factors of these two expressions. Because remember, we want to factorize this. Common factor of 2x and 3xy. What do you see here? What do you see for 2x under the factors that you also see for 3xy? We see 1. We see x, right? Is there another thing that is common? I bet not. Nothing is common again. So this is a common factor. Then you go ahead and find what? The highest common factor. In this case, there's no really highest common factor, but since 1 is more like a common factor for every number, we will not really take that into account. Instead, we're going to use what? X. Because in the context of what you're trying to achieve here, x is actually what? The one that is mostly visible. Every other thing has 1 as its common what? Common factor. So we're going to have x here. So having x here, so the highest common factor that we're using is x. So once we've done that, we've gotten the highest common factor, we come back to this. So 2x minus 3xy. We want to factorize it, put it into bracket now. By using this word, highest common factor, x. So put x here and open a bracket. Now use this x and divide this term, this 2x. You are left with what? 2. Use the same x, divide 3xy. You are left with what? 3y. So what now? You see that you have successfully factorized this expression. The factorized form is this. I hope you got that. Now, let's have another example on this account. 6x squared minus 3x cubed. We are asked to factorize this particular expression. And like I said, first thing to do here is to first get the factors of each of the terms. So we're going to get the factors of 6x squared, which is, first find the factors of 6. 1, 2, 3, 6. This is factor of 6. Then attach the x. Now this is a bit tricky, but it's still very easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate these factors of 6 with respect to the variable, like I mentioned. So it's going to be x, 2x, 3x, then 6x. Now, we are not going to stop here because the exponent we have for the variable here is raised to the power of 2. So after we've done for x, we're going to do for x squared. So we're going to be, with respect to 1, we're going to have x squared, 2x squared, 3x squared, and what? 6x squared. So this is a set of the complete factors of 6x squared. Now, over to 3x cubed. Let's find the factors of this particular algebraic term. So the first thing we're going to do is find the factors of 3. As you know, 3 is a prime number. So the factors of 3 are just 1 and 3. Then we'll now have to replicate it with respect to the variable here. So we're going to start with, in place of 1, we're going to have x. In place of 3, we're going to have 3x. Then, because we have x to the power of 3, we're going to do for x squared and x to the power of 3 with the same thing in mind. Look at what I mean. So I mean that in place of 1 here, and because now we are done with the first exponential power, which is 1, we're going to the next exponential power, which is x squared. So it's going to be x squared in place of 1, then what? 3x squared in place of what? 3. Then we do also for x cubed, for the cubic exponent. So in place of 1, we're going to have x to the power of 3. Then we're going to have the next one as well, 3x to the power of 3. So this is the complete factor of 3x cubed. The next thing to do is to find the common factor. The common factor for these two terms is what we're looking for now. So you see that we have 1 here and we have 1 here. So we're going to have 1 here, right? Then we have 3 here and we have 3 here. We're going to have 3 here. Then we have x and x here. We're going to have what? X. We have 3x and also have 3x. We're going to have what? 3x. We have x squared. I think we have x squared. Yes, we have x squared here and also have x squared here. So we have 3x squared here and we have what? 3x squared here. So it is common. This is the common factor for these two terms. Next thing to do is to find what? Highest common factor. TF. So out of every term here, the highest common factor is 3x squared, which is this. So this is what we are working with in order to factorize this expression. Now, taking note of that, we're just going to write, let me write out the expression once more. 6x squared minus 3x to the power of 3. Taking this as highest common factor, I'm going to place it here, 3x squared. And open a bracket. Remember, we're factorizing this expression. So I'm trying to put it inside a bracket. So if you factorize it by putting this highest common factor outside of bracket, then using it to divide each of this word term, right? So 3x squared, when it divides 6x squared, you're going to be left with what? 2. How do I know? Because if you do 2 times 3x squared, you still get back what? 6x squared. So we've not done anything strange. Put your negative sign. Then 3x squared dividing 3x raised to the power of what? 3 will give us just x. How do I know? If you use x and multiply 3x squared, you still get back what? 3x cubed. So this is a factorized form of this word expression. I hope you got that.